Ludden with Permit.io is here with me.
True.
Welcome.
Hello, thank you.
We've been working on that capacity, or rather, it's first time we meet in person. Very exciting.
Yeah.
And I was glad to learn that you are here as a speaker, speak about Kong-related and probably permissions-related stuff.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm actually here in relief of our chief architect, Shaul Kremer. I want to give him a shout out because he basically built the talk, did all the heavy lifting with the Kong integration initially. But yes, it is I who is here.
All right, so what did you speak about?
So we talked a little bit about what Permit.io is, the IAM space, identity and access management, authentication, authorization, which is where we play. Of course, we talked about how to integrate with Kong. I did a live demo on that. It's not very difficult, thankfully. Yeah, that was about it. Oh, we also touched on, actually today happens to be, this wasn't initially the plan, that it happens to be the release of our new attribute-based access control support, ABAC support, which is a really big deal for us, and I think in general, because it allows for seamless scaling from RBAC, role-based access control, if you're familiar, to ABAC, attribute-based access control.
So, what's the relationship between API Gateway, Kong, and what Permit does?
Well, essentially, it's a way that you can use the open source OPA plugin, Open Policy Administrator plugin, to integrate and to tell Permit what policy to enforce, essentially. So that's essentially the relationship.
Okay, and this lives in the cloud and talks with the API Gateway?
Yep, that's right.
To make sure that
So the Permit, the policy administration aspect lives in the cloud, in Permit's cloud. There's also a local agent, the PDP. It's a sidecar that sits ideally next to an application locally and enforces the policy that gets set via cloud. So if the cloud goes away or the network is down, you can still make updates, check and uncheck. We have a policy front end that you can basically check boxes to set who can do what and what users can do what. And you can still do that even with the networks down because there is a local PDP running as a sidecar next to the app.
And the integration is with API Gateway to enforce who can do what behind this particular API.
Yeah, so basically you can choose whatever authentication provider you want. There's even a basic authentication solution via Kong Gateway. If you use Auth0 or you use Okta or you use something else, AWS Cognito, you can use those, and then you can use Kong as the administrator, leveraging the OPA plugin, and then that talks to Permit, etc.
Right. So once we know who this user is, we will ask Permit what this user can do.
Well said.
And when we are talking about APIs, it's basically, are they allowed to access this API? And which operations they're allowed to do. Get, post, delete.
Yes, exactly, yeah. And we did a little demo showing how you can easily do this. So you can, we did an admin user that has the right to get on index, and then we did a little postman request, and it showed, oh, okay, it's authorized, and then you uncheck get, and then suddenly you get a, I think it was a 403 error. So yeah.
It's almost perfect as long as Kong demo go. The only improvement you can make is use Insomnia instead of Postman.
I'm Switzerland. Oh,
well,
I'm not getting involved in this.
Summit,
okay,
so
fair enough. Yeah.
No, actually, Insomnia is pretty. It's very exciting. And a cool tool. Yeah. It's like it's using.
I take your recommendations, Baruch, seriously.
It's using VS Code instead of Notepad.
Oh, okay, easy. All right, I love VS Code.
Right. Yeah, no, Insomnia. Go for it. Use it.
All right.
Okay.
We'll do.
Excellent. Michael, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Sharing with us. And you all folks check the Permission.io Kong integration because you do need to control what can people do or cannot do in your APIs.
If you weren't able to make the talk, I know they weren't. This one happened to not be recorded. Shaul Kremer, who I mentioned at the top of this, wrote a blog post. So if you go to Permit.io and go to our blog, you can actually read through essentially what we talked about on the talk.
Excellent. And if you follow us on Twitter, I'll ask Michael to add the URL
Yeah.
of the blog post
I
as
will.
a reply to this tweet.
Yep.
Also in Kong YouTube, you can add comment there as well,
Awesome.
so people will know where to find this awesome stuff. With that, Michael, thank you very much.
Thank
it was
you.
awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.